should you get steel brake lines for your motorbike? There are two factors to look at this thing: performance and or safety, because they go together in this case, and money. The main difference between a steel braided brake line and a rubber one is the fact that under high temperature, when you are braking really hard, the stainless steel is not going to deform at all, in no way on earth. However, a rubber one can dilate a little bit and create like a bubble, which will reduce your braking performance. That's why I say that in this case, performance and safety go together. It is true that rubber lines have improved a lot because they are now using, in combination with the rubber, other materials like Teflon to reduce this fact. But when you buy the steel braided ones, you're buying a brake hose that is gonna last forever if you treat it properly. So there is some investment there to be made, in the sense that you are paying more now. Wait a minute, we are paying more? Let's look at the prices. For the front part, you're gonna need the piece that goes from the master cylinder, which is piece number 1. Then you're gonna need piece number 2 and 6, which are sold as an assembly too. And then for the rear one, you're gonna need piece number 3 and piece number 2, which are also sold as an assembly, which together cost 443 euros with 48 cents. What? The prices are based on motorcycle spare parts prices. There can be some difference if you use another supplier, maybe a cheaper one, but these are the prices of the OEM hoses. And I paid a total of 318.70 euros for a much higher quality and arguably cooler looking and safer, that's for sure, brake lines. So I saved 130 euros and got a better product, and I got everything like the cool stuff, you know. I got the stainless steel ones. Yes, they may be a few grams heavier, but they are steel at least, you know. They are gonna, I bought them to last. And why did I buy them in the first place? I am not a crazy rider. Hopefully I'm not gonna benefit from the increased braking performance because I need to not be killed by a truck or something. But I mostly did it because if you look at the owner's manual, where it says maintenance and lubrication brake hose, it says replace every 4 years. My bike is from 2019. We are now in 2025. So they were a bit overdue. Some may argue that because my bike only had 12,000 kilometers, there was nothing going to be wrong with the brake lines and hoses. Okay, fine. I feel a lot safer and a lot more comfortable knowing that I am following what the Japanese manufacturer is telling me to do to get the bike properly maintained. So in my mind, it's an absolute no-brainer to get steel brake lines at some point. If you want to use your stock brake lines for longer, fine, do it at your own risk. I would much rather follow the manual that I of course obtained through a very legit source and not from the internet. But if you eventually replace them, we can completely agree that it's an absolute no-brainer to use the steel braided ones because they are cheaper, man. So you get something much better that you will never have to replace ever again. Let me reiterate that. You will never have to replace them ever again. They perform better and they are cheaper. It's an absolute no-brainer. Well, I just realized that I'm using the wrong background. Wait a minute. Well, now you know that I do social media and other stuff in Spanish. Whatever, right? No one's gonna lie. Anyway, if you want to see how I install them, you can check it out here or here if you want to see how I rebuild my calipers, because that's another one. Like if you're gonna go through the process of installing new brake lines, please rebuild your calipers. The rebuild kits they're cheap. They are basically just seals and a pin. The job is super easy to do, but bear in mind that you may strongly need an air compressor. Just keep that in mind. Other than that, if I did it, you can do it for sure. And I think, again, we can agree that having brakes that brake properly, it's kind of important because the SV doesn't have the most braking power on earth. Let's agree also on that. It's not too bad, especially the front ones, but the rear brake one is a joke. It's not too much of a complicated job. Also, I think they look completely sick. They look so much better than having just rubber hanging around. If looks is something that concerns you, by the way, you have all the options here. You have aluminum gold, aluminum titanium, blue anodized, red anodized, chrome platelets, stainless steel. Those are the ones I got. And then the cables themselves, you can make the black. I choose transparent, matte black, carbon, red, blue, kawa green even. And then the banjo bolts, they give you the option to reuse the original ones. I didn't. I probably could have used them. I kept them just in case, but I went again with the fancy ones, you know, I went with the good steel ones, because again, I am saving 120, 130 euros. So why not splurge a little bit, you know? But I have to be honest, I have not felt a drastic improvement or anything crazy. So that tells me that my brake lines were still in good shape, which is good. But at the same time, the bike, when I got it, only had 12,000 kilometers. So I cannot tell you, you should replace yours at this amount of kilometers. I can just tell you what the manual says, which says replace them every 4 years. And that's it. Hope you guys liked the video. See you in the next one.